Yep. Okay, how's the coffee? Not exactly. Good? Warm? What's your name? Very nice to meet you. How old are you? 6? Good to see you. You have a day off today. How are you? Good morning. Thank you for wearing that. What's your name? Nice to meet you.
Sorry. Mayor Giuliani, why'd you have thousands of tons of steel melted down and shipped off to Asia? Why wasn't it properly analyzed? You're working to the Thanks for the help. Want me to get one for you? Sorry.
Hey, this guy has the right to ask questions.
Yeah, he did. You're a liar, Giuliani. You're a liar. 70% of the 9/11 victims' families' questions were not answered by the 9/11 Commission report. The 9/11 omission report.
You're on private property, so we're going to ask you. Thank you.
Nobody wants to hear you.
Family members want a new investigation! Investigate 9/11! Investigate 9/11! He's a criminal! He has hard knowledge!
He has a right to speak.
Go back to the loony bin!
Hey, he has a right to speak.
No, he doesn't.
Everybody does. Yes, he
Go back to the
does.
loony bin!
He doesn't have a right to speak.
Not in front of me. He's in my ear.
He has a right to speak as long as there's...
Shut up here.
What? This isn't all about just support. I mean, there's questions.
I don't support anybody. I don't.
Okay. Why can't he ask his questions?
Because I don't want to hear his crap.
Sorry, guys.
always sat right in front of you. Thank you, guys. Don't worry.
Hey, Rudy, the American people are waking up to the fact that you're a criminal. You're a criminal, Rudy. You're a fake conservative, Rudy.
Hey, stop assaulting him.
You're a fake. Yeah, don't assault me. You're a fake conservative.
No, he shoved me. No, you know you didn't. I got it on camera.
Obviously, you have a very personal connection to. What do you make of this when these people come visit you?
It's part of America. You learn when you're mayor of New York City that people have all kinds of different opinions, all kinds of different views. Some are responsible, some are irresponsible. So you're used to it. It's not anything I don't expect, and not anything I haven't faced before. Probably considerably bigger than this.
I got enough.
After being mayor of New York for 8 years, I would consider this a rather minor, kind of a minor 4 or 5 person protest. It doesn't compare to anything I've faced in the past. And you realize in a society like ours, people come to all kinds of different opinions. The conspiracy theorists are all over. They are protesting all over the place. They have all these theories about somehow America caused September 11th. People had advanced knowledge of it. It's very sad. I mean, it's not true, but you're not going to convince them that it's not true. Somehow their emotions override their logic and their rationality. That is the first time it's happened. I'll sign something else for you. Sure, I'll sign your jacket. Here you go. Stay there.
Mr. Giuliani, 6 years ago, you told Peter Jennings that we were told that the World Trade Center was going to collapse. Where did you get your foreknowledge that the World Trade Center was going to collapse? Excuse me, sir. Mr. Giuliani, where did you get your foreknowledge that the 9/11 World Trade Center was going to collapse? Promised me an ability to ask a question. Your campaign told me.
Stop that.
Your campaign told me I could ask this question. 6 years ago, you told Peter Jennings. Sir. You told Peter Jennings. You told Peter Jennings.
Get him out of here.
Don't push back on me. I was not pushing. I was not pushing. We asked you to leave. I was not asked to leave. I was not asked to leave. I was not asked to leave, officer. This is illegal. I'm a member of the media. I'm a publisher and editor-in-chief of New York Megaphone. And I'm the only New York reporter here. I'm not pushing. I'm not pushing.
Yes, you are.
I'm not pushing. I'm not resisting you.
Walking out into the parking lot.
I'm willing to leave the property. If I was asked to leave the property, I'd be willing to leave the property.
Now we're going to talk to you.
That's great. I'm willing to talk. This guy was very cordial before. He's a member of the Loveland Police Department. Yes, officer.
So am I. We're all members of the Loveland Police Department.
I appreciate that. All I did was ask a fair question. I'd like to give you my business card. I'm the publisher of the New York Megaphone newspaper out of Brooklyn, New York. I have valid identification. I'm not holding a weapon. And you know what? What you did was illegal. What you did was a violation of Bill of Rights.
All right, get him out of here. Let's go. Sir, come on.
Look, wait, hold on a second. Wait a minute. I'm friends with Tom here.
Is he threatening anybody? Why is this man being arrested?
I'm exercising my First Amendment rights to say what you did was illegal. This is an illegal arrest. And you know what? I have a great attorney. I have a great attorney, and you guys are okay, let me just calm down. Let's just calm down.
We're going to walk over to the car now.
Has the man done anything wrong?
I'm trying to communicate with you guys. This country is still ruled by the Bill of Rights, right? You guys took an oath to protect the Constitution, am I correct? All I asked was a simple question about Giuliani's foreknowledge that the World Trade Center was going to collapse.
Why are you arresting this man?
What crime is he broken?
Why are you arresting this man?
You can't arrest him. He didn't do anything.
Sure, no problem.
What crime is he broken?
Why are you arresting this man? We demand to know.
What happened to the Constitution?
It's okay, guys.
The Bill of
It's
Rights?
okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's
Nobody's
okay.
in handcuffs. Back off, or you will be. Okay? Just deep breath. Okay. Just relax.
Gentlemen, do we have badge numbers, business cards that we can...
No, we're not talking to you. We're dealing with them.
Media.
Okay?
I think it's going to be okay, guys. I think it's going to be all right.
Let's see your badge, sir. Sir, I'm going to ask you 4 times to back off, conduct your investigation,
Yes, sir.
identify the suspects.
Yes, sir.
Back off. Okay?
Can I have a badge number, sir? Can I have a name and badge
We're
number?
dealing with them right now.
Okay.
In a minute, I'll deal with you.
Yes, sir.
We're dealing with them.
Boy, you know, I really thought you could ask a question in this country.
D. Roberts?
This is private property.
D. Roberts.
He's a public property. He's a presidential
Doesn't have a badge
candidate
number.
officer.
You can't ask a question on private property.
Secret Service, sir.
BBC World City came down for it.
Down from New York.
Yeah.
You flew all the way out for this.
No, sir. I flew up for a speaking engagement.
Bar Arnold?
about a national grassroots movement that's asking questions about 9/11. And following...
We need you to leave right now, okay?
Obviously.
All right. So I appreciate your cooperation, okay? If you do come back on the property, we will arrest you for trespassing.
That's fine.
Fine. Have a nice day.
All right, if anybody wants to talk to me from the media, I'm over here. I'm going to get off the property right
The
now.
American people need to wake up to what's happening in this country. This country has been taken over by criminal elements within our own government, including the scumbag Rudy Giuliani.
So technically I was arrested, meaning stopped, from asking this question. I was assaulted by police, my arms were twisted behind my back, and I was jerked backwards. They accused me verbally at the time of pushing them, but I was not pushing them. I was actually delicately trying to do this dance in which I was trying to get close to Giuliani without actually pushing anybody, and I was very close. I was like as close as we are now, about 5 feet away, and the question I started to ask was, at 12 noon, on September 11, 2001, you told Peter Jennings, when you were operating out of 75 Barclay Street, quote, we were told the World Trade Center was going to collapse. Where did you get your foreknowledge that the towers were going to collapse? And that is the question that now the onus is upon you, citizens of America, to show up at Giuliani campaign events, get close to him, and ask that question. You told Peter Jennings on 9/11/01, when you were set up at 75 Barclay Street, quote, we were told the World Trade Center was going to collapse. Where did you get your foreknowledge? Why don't you call for an independent investigation of 9/11? Short and sweet, people. Short and sweet.
Up in northern Colorado, but as Fox 31's John Bowman reports, anyone looking for peace and quiet at this Loveland coffee shop didn't get it.
Good morning. What a beautiful morning, huh?
Candidate Rudy Giuliani working the crowd.
Good to see you. How you doing?
Crossing the flash.
Good. How are you?
There aren't many candidates on the Republican side that represent my views, and I think he's one that comes close to that.
Very nice.
Leading the next generation.
How old are you? 6. Good to see you.
He can handle crises, and I don't see that that's happening with any of the other candidates.
Shaking even the smallest of hands.
I think there's certain aspects of what he's proposing that would be good for the country. I worry about other aspects of what he's standing for.
Rudy, hi, I'm Sander from New York Megaphone.
How are you? Good to see you, Janet. Nice to see you.
Listen, on 9/11, when you said...
Why don't you let me go my hand now? Thank you.
Listen, on 9/11, when you...
The front runner taking protesters in stride, but inside they start up again.
When will justice be served for Dan Wallace and his family?
Once pro-Rudy fans shouted down one protester, another started up.
Investigate 9/11, this man's a crook, he's a criminal!
As for his former top cop, Bernie Carrick, who was just hit with a 14-count indictment,
I made a mistake. I apologize for the mistake. I should have vetted him more carefully.
Giuliani says Colorado needs the kind of president America needs.
One who's going to be realistic in facing Islamic terrorism, and one that's going to lower taxes, not like the Democrats who are going to raise taxes by $1.3 trillion.
In Loveland, John Bowman, Fox 31 News.
Giuliani also went after Hillary Clinton for what he calls flip-flopping on issues, especially the war in Iraq. After the Loveland stop, Giuliani held 2 private fundraisers in Windsor.
Halfway through the season.
More on his visit, and tonight Carlin, the former New York mayor, was met by a big crowd of supporters here, and a few protesters too, I guess, right?
Alan Giuliani talked about all of his familiar campaign themes. He wants to continue the fight in Iraq, lower taxes here at home, and close the borders to illegal immigrants. But more than what he said is what his visit means, that presidential contenders see Colorado as an important stop on the road to the White House.
How are you? Good morning. What a beautiful morning, huh?
Republican presidential hopeful Rudy Giuliani began his quick trip to Loveland with handshakes and pleasantries. But not everyone returned his greeting.
Hundreds and hundreds of other 9/11 victims' families.
You're used to that. It's not anything I don't expect and not anything I haven't faced before.
We had questions we wanted to ask him. He just blew us off and walked right by us.
But for the most part, people just wanted to see him in person.
Well, I could have a picture with the future president.
And others wanted to hear what he had to say.
I haven't made up my mind yet who I'm going to support and vote, but this is an opportunity.
Giuliani was honest about his mission.
We're here to get votes, and we're here to raise money.
For him, that meant letting people see he is a more steady and focused candidate than his main Democratic competitor.
What has been going on with Hillary Clinton throughout this entire campaign, she cannot take a position and stick with it.
And then as soon as he came, Rudy Giuliani was gone. But locals say the visit was important on many levels.
I think it's good that Northern Colorado is getting the attention prior to the caucuses this year. I think it's a message for Northern Colorado that we can make a difference.
Now, Giuliani is being criticized for recommending his former police chief, Bernard Kerik, to head up Homeland Security. Kerik was recently indicted on corruption and tax fraud charges. Giuliani apologized today, saying he made a mistake.